If you're telling somebody that you do more for them, they should expect to pay more or less. You should be anchoring high. It gives you a lot of wiggle room to be able to negotiate. You can switch people over based off of area of coverage. That's one way you can get people. You can switch them over based off of simply price. Like, hey, we love that you're a cheaper price. You can switch them over based off of frequency. We like that you come out more frequent or less frequent. I've sold for so many different companies. I've sold an account and I've switched over the same company's account in the last year. Sometimes people, they're on a BIMO, I'm like, dude, you need a quarterly plan. Or if they're on a quarterly plan, you need a BIMO plan. If they're on the monthly plan, you need the every 2-month plan. So you can, what do I go? Area of coverage, price, frequency, they have a bug problem, or they're pissed off at the office for some reason. Don't get hung up on like area of coverage / like features, right? If you don't sell based off of that and they're like, oh, well, no, I think they do everything you do. Great. You have 4 different ways that you can still sell to them. Maybe they're price sensitive, okay? I like to sell in Indian communities just because, dude, if you can get one, you get them all, right? Lower CV, but if you can get one, then you're ripping, okay? Frequency. Hey, they're coming out every 3 months. I want to upgrade you to the every 2-month plan. Bug problem. Maybe they love their company, but they still get the occasional ant on the inside. I'm going to sell them all day. And then maybe there was a salesman that set poor expectations that knocked right in front of you. And they've been with the company for a year. That's a great way to distinguish yourself. So there's other ways to distinguish yourself in a switchover. That makes sense? Say yes. Yes. Okay, cool. We're cool to switch we're cool to go past the switchover like service pitch, correct? A lot of my trainings, and Brian Lewis knows this, a lot of my trainings focus heavily on the beginning of the sale or the end of the sale. I do the service pitch as well, but I think the biggest and most important part is at the very end as well. So I'm going to teach you guys how to close more assumptively. Now, in switchovers, if you're telling somebody that you do more for them, they should expect to pay more or less. More. So if you roll out your pricing and you're less than their competitor, they're going to start thinking it's a scam. So it's okay when you roll out your pricing, especially if you're rolling out on doing more coverage, you should be anchoring high. Why? Because number one, it adds legitimacy to your product. Number two, it gives you a lot of wiggle room to be able to negotiate. If you guys see it in my role play, in my live sales, I typically like to use my initial service for my negotiation and my wiggle room. My reoccurring, I like to keep high. Why? Because, and this is good for rookies right here. So if I drop my initial service by $50, and that's over the course of 1 month, right? Great. I drop my initial service $50, that cost me $50 of commissionable revenue. I'm fine. George is still eating, okay? That's my daughter. George and Frankie still got food on the table. If I drop my reoccurring rate by $30 times 12, somebody do the math on that real quick. $360? Is that right? Yeah, $360. So my contract value on that account for a $30 reoccurring price drop just went down $360. I would much rather do initial price drops of $20, $30, or $50 to set the hook. So rolling out your initial somewhat high is going to be important, and you'll keep your reoccurrings high too. That's a great way to keep your contract value high. That makes sense? Say yes.
What up, guys? If you're watching this video, it's because you want to get better. Now, the YouTube stuff is free, and there's tons of content here. But what matters more is actually seeing how this stuff applies on the doors. If you didn't know, I have a sales training app with over 100 live sales, and you actually get to see how this stuff actually works in real life. So the theory is great. This is going to help you a ton. But if you're on this channel right now, you're probably the type of person that invests in themselves. So hop on the course today. It's literally just $100 a month. There's no contract. There's a dang good chance you're going to be on that this summer, telling all your friends about it, because you're going to double your sales just from the tips I give you in that sales training course. See, on the course, use code MAZER20 for $20 off your first month, and let's rock.
Okay, cool. So when I frame price, I'm going to send this over to you. I'm going to say, now, obviously, I always lead into price by saying, I'm sure you're wondering how much this is all going to run you. Okay, everybody repeat after me. I'm sure you're wondering how much this is all going to run you. Great transitional phrase to get into price. Then I'm going to set expectations. I'm going to go, now obviously it would be impossible for us to be the same rate as ABC Company. Like, we're doing 10 times the amount of work. It just wouldn't make any sense. However, I'm going to be competitive with you today because I do want to earn your business and help you out with those ants or whatever their hot button is. Why is that an important thing to roll out before I start divulging numbers? I'm prepping them. I'm like, hey, this is going to cost more than what you're currently paying. And it's for a reason, because we're doing 10 times the amount. I'm also hedging against other objections like, oh, well, we're paying less. Of course you're paying less because we're doing, you're not getting as much. Does that make sense? Say yes? Yes. Cool, cool. So we're going to frame price. Then I'm going to do price. I'm going to redirect with anything other than price. I'm going to remind them that I'll close out their company, and I'm just going to close assumptively. So let me go ahead and give an example of frame price. Everybody knows how to roll out pricing here, because it's not going to be very different than what you currently are doing. A redirect is literally talking about anything else other than price. Because, guys, what if I took out price and I just went price, close? Yep, it'll just be $99 a month. What's a good phone number for you? What's the last thing the customer is thinking about? Price. Versus if I go, yep, after that, it's just at affordable $99 a month, and that's going to be for everything. The whole yard, the base spray, the eave sweep, will even be coming inside whenever y'all need. And then you all said you had 2 dogs, right? Cool, you said you had 2 dogs, right? Yeah. What were their names? I don't even care what the names of the dogs are. I'm just trying to change the subject. Cool?
Shelly and Dawn.
That's cool, man. Okay, so I got 2 dogs too back home, but I actually don't have 2 dogs. I have a dog back home. My mom had a dog. So I'm just trying to be like a random rep. But like, dude, that's awesome, dude. They just make sure they're put up for 45 minutes while the product dries. I just don't want the dog jumping all over the technician when he does it. But the way it works is we'll always call you before we come out. That way no trucks in the way, man. What's a good number for you? As soon as I say the word what's, I'm going, what's a good number for you? I'm looking down at my iPad. I'm going quiet. I'm hiding under the bill of my hat, and I'm waiting for them to respond with a phone number. Rookies, trust me, this works. Okay? They're going to give you phone numbers. Might they give you objections afterwards? Absolutely, and that's okay. But if I'm actively wrapping up the deal, I have a higher chance of getting it. Thumbs up if you follow me.